Here back for another update. In today's update, we're going to be taking a look at BTC over here, and this is where I think BTC is going to go. You can see that yesterday, or we'll actually dissect the move all the way back to April 7th. We had a 5-wave move to the upside, and we swept the January highs over here. And then if we take a little bit of a closer look, we formed our first lower high on the swing structure, right? So this was our first lower high. We had a 5-wave move down over here like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Take a little bit of a closer look on the 4-hour. Then you have an A, a B, and a C wave up. So that could have been your B wave right there. And then what we see over here is a move back down to the 23.6% fib. And then what did we see yesterday? Or the last 2 days? We saw an A, B, C up right to the 70.2% fib at 108,561. Okay, now this over here could have been your B wave, right? So this could have been your A, this could have been your B, and now we're coming down for a C wave likely to around 97,790. Worst case scenario, I would say 93,418, and that would be near the 200-day EMA right over here. So you may even see a wick below the 200-day EMA, right to the 50%. That would be the absolute worst case scenario. That's what I'm seeing as the worst case scenario. Okay, but but our base case would be that the 38.2% gets tagged at 97,790, which would also be near the 200-day moving average. So you see the 200-day moving average, it's just under the 38.2% fib. So we would wick down to the 200-day like this and then recover. Okay, that's what I'm thinking over here. Now I did show that if we do get a daily close below the 38.2% fib, we're going to see a little bit of a retrace, but then we're going to continue down towards these range lows at 100,811. Right, sorry, 101,197. We would come down to these range lows, and this daily candle closes in about 25 minutes. So let's see over here. Let's see if it closes below this level. Okay, if it does, then I would be expecting this C wave to come down and we can finish off this correction. Like I said, worst case scenario, we come down to the 50% fib at 93K. And in order to invalidate more downside, what I would want to see here going forward is just a daily push or a daily close above 109,525 at the 78.6% fib in order to confirm we're going to be headed towards 114,692, right? And then we could say, oh, okay, yeah, this B wave could have been a little bit higher, and we're forming an expanded flat where the B wave sweeps the A wave high, and then you come down for your C wave like this, right? But then as soon as you get a daily close or even of like a couple 4-hour closes above 114,692, then it's very likely that where the impulse is going to continue on higher. Okay, but so far what we're seeing is that the price action is very weak, and based off of the current fundamental events happening in the world, it'll just add fuel to the fire of this correction, right? It'll just give it a little bit of a narrative, yeah. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking. We're just going to come down for an ABC correction, but it'll just be a wave 2, nothing to worry about, nothing to panic over. And you know, this is actually very healthy for crypto because you'd be forming a little bit of a wider base in order for us to have higher expansion targets, right? This would be your left shoulder, your head, and then your right shoulder. And this would be a bullish inverted head and shoulders pattern. Taking a look here at the linear scale, we could see that the minimum technical target of that inverted head and shoulders would be sitting at around 152 and 162. So this is where I would be expecting BTC to go towards after it hits around 122 to 130k, maybe even 137k. And you see this is where the 3.618, 4.236, and 4.618 extension lies at when you take a fib from the March high down to the August low. So if you take a fib from this high down to this low, this is where the major fibs line up, and that would be right where this inverted head and shoulders target would take you. So I still do think there's going to be more upside later in the year, but we may need to just come down to form a little bit of a bigger base, have a correction, and then bottom out sometime in July, and then go up into August, September, October, right? Going into the end of the year. Now, this is, so now before I end this video, I just want to reiterate that in order to invalidate more downside, what we would need to see here going forward is a daily close back above 109,525. I want to see the price push back up to these highs, get a daily close above the 786 at 109,525, so we can confirm that we're going to head towards 114,692. Once we get there, we're not out of the woods yet, because that could be an expanded flat where the B wave comes up here and then we come down for the C wave. But if you get a daily close or even a couple 4-hour closes above the 1.236, then it's very likely that we're not in a correction, and we're going to continue on with our impulse. Okay. Now, daily closes in about 21 minutes. If you get a close below the 38.2% fib at 104,887, then the odds of coming down here increase, right, at 97,790 and 93,418. But remember, this is the bullish scenario, right? This is where I think Bitcoin is going to do. Okay. And we have a wave 5 blow off top. We have a wave 5 of 5 extension blow off top. I would say the absolute worst case scenario, I know I said worst case scenario, we come down here to 93,418, but I'm talking about black swan worst case scenario. Worst case scenario, Bitcoin is already topped. And we're literally just doing this same playbook as 2021. Okay, so there is a possibility of that, but that's not my base case. My base case is we just come down slightly for a subwave 2 of 5 to the upside. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video today. If you guys like the content, if you guys love the content, then click the link in the description below to join the Discord, where you can get access to over 350 assets. You guys can ask me any question you want and connect with me one-on-one. Peace out and take it easy. I'll see you guys in the next one.